Anakin Skywalker was born 41 years before the Battle of Yavin on an unknown world, but was raised on Tatooine ever since he and his mother were brought there. Even though he had been born on this unknown world, Tatooine was the only home he ever knew. Anakin was born into slavery, but before he became Watto's slave, he and Shmi Skywalker were first slaves of Gardulla the Hutt. Just like Jabba the Hutt, she was a cruel creature. Gardulla didn't care for anyone but herself. Many times it was mentioned that she had killed expensive slaves before, often to show guests just how powerful she actually was. She was also known to eat a slave from time to time, so it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that Anakin kept a grudge against all Hutts. He personally experienced their cruelty. The first years of Anakin's life were extremely harsh. As a slave of Gardulla, his living conditions were subpar. One of his earliest memories was about a slave who tried to run away and was blown to pieces as a result. Anakin was around 3 years old at that time. Years later, he and his mother became slaves of Watto. More precisely, Gardulla the Hutt lost Anakin and Shmi Skywalker to Watto because of a bet, proving even further just how unstable a slave's life actually was. This led to little Anakin growing up with the knowledge that he could be sold any day and he couldn't do anything about it. Hence the personality of Darth Vader, where he became the second in command only to the Emperor and relished the fact that now he had everything under his control. Now, many times it has been said that Watto was a better person than Gardulla, but as much as Anakin and Shmi's living condition got better, it doesn't mean that Anakin's life became easier. Watto overworked Anakin every chance he got, forcing a small child to work for long hours and sending him alone to negotiate with Jawas for spare parts. He even forced a 7-year-old child into pod racing, a sport that no human had a chance to survive. Before Anakin reached the age of 10, he experienced life-threatening situations, and he survived only thanks to his untrained force skills. Many times Watto would just start speaking in Huttese without even thinking about it, intentionally choosing a language that offered a vast array of insulting words he then could draw upon. Despite all his suffering, Anakin was still compassionate and adventurous. Frequently, he would risk his own well-being to help those who needed it, with little regard for what the consequences might be. When he was 5 years old, Anakin walked an immense dune to chase away a herd of banthas in order to save them from the hunters who wanted to kill the animals. Another instance of his cunning was when Anakin, his friend Kitster Banai, and several others narrowly avoided a potential disaster. They heard that the children who had been captured and imprisoned by Saboba were going to be sold to Gardulla the Hutt. Anakin and the others disguised themselves as Jawas, sneaked into Gardulla's estate, and freed the children. This trait would prove to be one of the defining characteristics of Anakin's personality. Alright guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, don't forget to leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't miss out on any of my future videos that I will post on this channel. Have a fun day, and in closing, don't forget, may the Force be with you always.